Okay, here we are back inside MatrixGold. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope the videos are helping you out in your designing process. So let's go ahead, and today we're going to do something pretty detailed. So I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance. I'm not sure, but it might be a little bit longer video, but I want to try to get as much in there as possible. We're going to make a pave halo, maybe a pendant type thing. So let's just get going on it. I'm going to go ahead and first grab a line. And I'm going to change it to my creation layer here. And I'm also going to turn on my grid snaps because I want a little bit more control exactly where it goes, 10, 20, 30. So I'm going to take it up 30 to that point there. And I'm going to take it over 30 here. Okay, so just give a nice straight angle. I'm going to go ahead and select that, and I'm going to go ahead and rebuild it to degree 2 with 3 points, and I'm going to hit OK. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn on my points on that curve there. So there's my points, and now I'm going to go ahead and select this point here, and I'm going to my little gumball circle there. You can see it highlighting. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to hit relocate gumball, and I'm going to turn off my grid snaps now, and I'm going to turn on my snaps and make sure my point snap is on and end snap. So I'll turn those on, and then I'll go to that point there, and then I'll just draw right along there and kind of bring it back and just snap it so that it goes perpendicular with my curve there. And my point is still selected, so I'm going to take that and I'm just going to draw it in something like that there. Give it a little U shape, right? I could have done it, I guess, with the arc direction, but hey, to each their own, right? So I'll get rid of those points. I'm going to go ahead and select that, go to my transform, go to my mirror, and I'm going to click X and multi so it goes around all 4 aspects, and then hit enter. And right away, I'm just going to go ahead and join this together. 4 curves joined into one closed curve. So it's closed curve, and if I click there, I can look over here, planar closed curve. All right, and that's what I want. Now I'm going to go ahead and select that closed curve, go to my surface and go to planar curves, and then hit enter. Well, I don't need to hit enter. I think I just done that twice. Okay, nope. So I'll switch that to this color. Yeah, there's 2 of them there. There's 3 of them. Okay. I only need 1, so I'll go here. I don't know what happened there. And I'll give it some shading. All right. Now the first way I'm going to show this is it's maybe the old way of doing it, but it's good to know how, because sometimes you kind of need to do it this way. Maybe take this curve here and protrude it out if you want certain design like that. We're just going to go straight across today, and it's a little monotonous. It takes some time, but this kind of work does take some time. The more time that you actually take on designing, the less time your craftsman will have issues putting it together. So don't be a rush when doing something like what we're going to be doing. I'm going to go to my curves. So I'm going to go back to my line and just grab a line, and I have my end snaps on, so I'm going to snap to there, and I'm going to snap to there. So I have a line going across. So I'll go ahead and now switch to my wireframe. I'm going to select that curve. I know I'm going to put 1mm stones across here, so I'm going to go to my offset curve and offset this curve to a 1.1, right? So on the top side there, and then I'm going to select that curve, right click, bring it back, and just work my way up all the way to the top. Just keep on adding lines out there. Like I said, this part there is a little bit. There's more ways to do it. We're going to go into those a little bit, but I did want to show this way too. So one more maybe. Yeah, we're good. All right. So now let's take this curve here, and let's change him to this color just so that we can have different colors out there. Make it easier. So let's go ahead, select all our yellow, and we're going to split it with this curve here and hit enter. Okay, So we should have all these that we can just get rid of. We want to get rid of all these outside lines. We don't need them. We just need the lines inside our little star there, or ninja star. All right, so we have those. Now, I'm not going to do this whole thing. I'm just kind of going to show you how to do it this way and why. And then you can decide, and then we'll go into another way. And that way is a little bit more different, but they both really kind of take a lot of time. But you'll have different ways to look at it. So I'm going to go ahead and grab gems and then go to gems on curve. And I'm going to select this curve here. And I better turn on my surface here. So I select that curve, hit enter, and then come over here and target this surface here, put my stones out there, and right away I'm just going to go ahead and bring this all the way over, and I'm going to take my size down to a 1, like I said, 1 millimeter stones, and I could type it in over here as well. From here, what I'm going to do is take this start position and just drag it in somewhere around here, and then come over to this other side and drag this in position in pretty close to the same area as the other side, where I have enough room for prongs and stuff like that. Maybe a little bit more. Something like that perhaps. And we'll take this one over just a little bit too. All right. And then we'll go ahead and enter, and then I'll just go ahead and click that curve, right click, and we'll just go to our surface there and snap it down. And again, we'll take these down to 1, and we will drag them across. And what we want to do is we want to kind of line them up kind of in between this area here. And we'll go ahead and take this one. It looks like this one's a little off here, so what we're going to have to do is a little manipulate. That one goes to the second one, so let's go ahead and drag this one over to the second one there, something like that. Yeah, so that they're the same on both sides, and that should be okay. So we'll go ahead and you just kind of keep doing that all the way up, and then I'll do one more. I'll select this curve, and then I'll right click, and then we'll go to our target surface, snap it down, drag it down to 1 millimeter, and drag those over so that they kind of stop right in the middle of that area there, somewhere around here, something like that. And that one looks okay, so we'll go ahead and stop there at this one. Now, the reason why we do it this way, first of all, we have total control, so we can move all these around any way we want, right? We have them all dynamic command over here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and select those bottom row stones, and we're going to go to just our prongs, right? And we'll go to, first thing we'll do is we'll drag that height up, of course. We'll kind of keep an eye on what it is. So we'll take it around 384, something like that. And we'll zoom in here. Width looks okay. That width looks pretty good, actually. And we'll go to our dynamic commands over here, and we'll go to our end, and we'll pick end prong style, and we'll just come down here to the 1. So it just gives us the 1, and the thing with the 1 is you'll have to drag that up, so it was around a 3.84, something like that. So there's a 4, and you'll have to do that to both sides. So we'll come over here and drag this one up as well. There we go. Doesn't have to be exactly the same right now, or really, because it's going to be grinded off. And we have that, right? Before I go any further, I noticed that these not exactly where I want. So like I said, the reason why we do that is so we can manipulate it even further, right? So we're going to take this one and put it kind of like right over the top of that one so that they're lined up, right? And we'll take this one and do the same thing right over the top of that one. And these are pretty close. And again, we can manipulate those as well. We'll hit enter. We'll go ahead and manipulate that just a little. It's getting close to our edge there. That one looks okay. All right, so there we are. Now we're going to pick those same stones that we just put those prongs on. Let's do, yeah, okay. And then we're going to go back to that prong placer again. But this time what we're going to do is we're going to switch here for our prong layout to this size, right? And as you can see, the reason why we want those right in the middle is because now we have that prong right there. Which is really cool. And the first thing we need to do is go in here and drag that height up, of course, 3.84, something like that. And then now, you know, it's just taking a little bit, so it's taking that stone more. So we want to definitely nudge this over. So that's kind of like right in the middle there, right? And then go ahead and change that in the prong to nada. There's one here, I think, that nothing. We don't want any end prong on it at all. We just want those side prongs going through, right? So we have something like this out here, and it gives a nice little look going around. And we can, let's go ahead and enter. We can go back in now that we see we have a little bit more space. We can edit these prongs a little bit more if we want to. Let's switch that to our main. Let's give them a nudge out a little, something like maybe this here. Yeah, I mean, you can adjust that however, but now we have a nice little prongs going around each one, right? And really, you know, after, you know, you only have to do 1/2 of it on this way here, and then you can just mirror it over once everything's done. So what we're going to do now is, first of all, we want to ungroup these so that they're all individual. And then what we're going to do is select all those right there, and we're going to go ahead and group them together. And let's just go ahead, and we can just leave them that color, that's fine. And then we're going to do the same thing with these. But first, before we don't need to do it with that. We're going to go ahead and let's grab this other side here. All these other, on the other outside there. And actually we don't need, I'm going to hold down control, pick this one and this one, we don't need it. And I'm going to pick this one and this one, we don't need it, and group those together. And now I'm going to go ahead and click on this one, because do the same thing, get rid of these two because we don't need them. Oh, select on these, ungroup them, hold down control, get rid of that one, get rid of that one, go over to the other side, get rid of that one, get rid of that one, and then group them back together. Okay, so these are grouped, those are grouped, and all these are still grouped. So let's ungroup these here, and then I'll hold down control and get rid of these three here, and get rid of those three there, and then group them back together again. All right, so we have this. Let's go to top view here. We have these grouped, we have these grouped, and we have these grouped. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to select all these, and we're going to select this one here. And we're going to change to wireframe. We're going to duplicate, and we want to turn on snaps and make sure our vertex is snap is turned on right here. And we want to go in here, point to copy from, we're going to copy it from, let's see, let's turn off this end snap here and our quad snap. And we should pick right there in the middle of our stone there. It doesn't matter what stone really. And click, and then we'll just drag them up to the middle of that stone there and hit click. All right, and now we have something like this going on. So as you can see, those are a little close together right here. So maybe we want to go back in here and push those back to where they were originally. And then hit enter. All right, and then just get rid of all these and do the same thing with these again. So duplicate from that point right there up to this point right here, and hit enter, and then boom. Yeah, there we go. All right, so now we have something like that going on, right? and they're all there. Looks pretty good. And again, we don't need, I mean, if you don't want, you just want one prong there, you can do that. If you want the two, that's fine too. We have a space here, but we can fill that in with two prongs, or we can put smaller stones in there with other tools, right? So basically, you just kind of work your way up doing the same type of thing. We'll do it one more time with these stones here. So we need to select all of these and all these and turn to our wire, duplicate. Well, before we do that, well, it doesn't matter. We'll just go ahead and do it. We'll just go ahead and delete them afterwards. These and these, duplicate, point to take any of the stones in the very center with the vertex on, snap on, and then we'll go up here to this one and snap there and click, and we have them all up in there. Now we have some extra ones, of course, so we're going to go ahead and click these, and then I'll ungroup them, and then hold down Control and delete this one, or unselect that one, and then we'll just go ahead and group those back together. Take that, get rid of it, take that, get rid of it, and we'll select all these, ungroup them, hold down Control, click the ones we don't want, regroup, and then click on the one, hold down Shift, click on the ones we don't want anymore, and delete them, right? And we have a little out here. It's not a big deal. We can go ahead, if you wanted to, is unselect or ungroup those, and then get rid, hold down Control, get rid of this one, and this one, and this one, and group them back together, and then select those four and delete them, delete, and then we can just select this one, well, ungroup. We just want this one here. We're going to duplicate it, point to duplicate. We're going to turn on our wireframe. We're going to snap to that mid there. We're going to drag up to this one here and click off of it, and then we're going to go over here. I'm going to hold down Shift, Control, grab that prong, go ahead and do a duplicate from the middle of that stone up to the middle of this stone, and then right click, so we're off. And then we got this out here. I did something wrong there. Let's select that little puppy there. Let's go back and do that again. Okay, and duplicate. See, I can't select it if I don't have that on wireframe. So we need to go to wireframe, get in there, click there, go up here, click there, and give it some shading. There we go. All right, and now we just have one prong on there, which is fine. So you just kind of work your way up, and then once you get them all ready or whatever, we're just going to go ahead and take all yellow, turn it to gray, and hide it real quick. Once you get it all together, your stones are all grouped together and your prongs are. So what we need to do is just go ahead and select all these, not that bottom row, but everything else, and then go to transform, go to parametric mirror, turn on X, turn off Y, and go ahead and hit enter, and give it a few seconds, and there you go. Everything is transferred over, and you're going to have a nice full pattern going all the way up to your stones. And you can readjust those stones, right? Now the prongs will not update. You'll have to redo the prongs because we didn't do it to each one. You could go and do each one if you wanted to, if you didn't want to do the duplications or whatever. But that's your choice. This is just after you get them laid out, it's pretty easy. So there you go. That's one way to go ahead and fill that in. Of course, to fill this area in here, it's real easy. Just go to your settings, go to prong placer. Select your surface, drop a prong out there, and we'll drop another prong right here, and maybe we'll even drop one right out here. And now, of course, those prongs have a height of them much higher than the rest, so we'll need to go in here and click on that little ball and drop that down. Well, drop that height down to match the rest of them. Something like that. Well, edit those, and they're fully editable, so you can always go back and rework them and move them around if you don't like where they're at as you go, and then hit enter. Okay, so there you go. The one thing you have to remember with the prongs on surface though is when you do a prong on surface, you want to make sure whatever surface you got is going to be the end surface. So what I was going to do with this surface, as you can tell, it's just a single surface out here, is I was going to take it and then draw it down, right? And then give it a second here, let it create its mesh, and then I have a let's see, closed poly surface. There we go. But the thing is, if I wanted to manipulate this, everything will stay where it's at except for those prongs on surface. If you notice, I'll make it bigger and wait for a second. And you'll see though those prongs on surface will move, but everything else pretty much stays exactly where it's at. So be a little cautious. Make sure that your surface is exactly where you want it before you go moving things around, right? And why do I have a prong stuck out here by itself? Where did it come off of? I don't know. Let's get rid of it. But anyway, that's one way to do it. And it'll work fine, and it'll give you a nice nice pave look once they're all out there, right? Let's go ahead and click on those, group, and change them to this. There we go. Click on those. Change. Oh, okay. We don't want to change all that. This one, those prongs. Since we mirror, that's all mirrored, so let's see. Yeah, that's all mirrored there. So you'll have to go to your smart command there, select all gems, change them to blue, make sure they're all blue, and group them together. And does it have a prong option here? Select all prongs. No, but I can select all, ungroup those, hide those. And now what we can do is go in here and select all those, change them to purple, group them together, and there you go. There. All right. And now when you pick on them, you have everything, right? Those are changed to purple. But that's kind of the gist of it. But you can just keep working your way up, lining up everything, laying out your prongs, and get this thing looking really good. Fill in the smaller spaces with either stones and or whatever. Hold down Shift Control. You can select this, poly surface. Go to your transform. Go to mirror. Go to X, turn off Y. I must have only selected one of them. Let's get rid of that real quick. Go here, hold down Control Shift, click this one, click this one, click this one, this one, poly edge, no, poly surface. Poly surface, go to mirror, There we go. And there they are. And then hit enter. And you got those. And just change those to purple. And then grab purple. Group them together. And there. They're all grouped together. All right. And you could mirror those over to this side too, and just work your way up, and you've got everything you need for this part of the thing. Now we're going to go ahead and go into a little bit more advanced detailed. This is pretty much stuff. So we're just going to grab all our stones, delete them, and we're going to go ahead and grab all our purple, delete them. And the only thing I really want is this surface in the outside curve here. So I'll hide all that, make sure everything else is turn on the gray there. We don't need any of that anymore. And then show everything. Okay, so we have that outside curve and we have our surface. Now, another way to do it, which is very easy, but again, it's pretty detailed. There's still a lot you have to do. Whenever you do the pave, there's no real easy way, I don't think, of getting everything laid out perfectly. You have to really manipulate it, and the more time you spend manipulating it, the better it gets. Well, sometimes you can overdo it. But anyway, let's go to gems, and let's go to our pave builder, and let's select our surface and then hit enter. So it gives us our pave builder out here, and our stones are probably upside down, huh? Oh, it's maybe oh, okay, I didn't extract the surface, so let's go ahead and let's explode this. And I'm just going to get rid of all this other surface underneath here. Let's go to right view, and I'm going to select all this and just delete. I just want that one surface back to where we were when we first started. Okay. Now let's go to Pave Builder, select our surface, hit enter, and there's our stones, right? And it actually really does a great job laying them all out for the most part. We do have some gaps here, but it does a really good job up in here and down. Just this area here, it's a little bit off. Tolerance below, distance, let's go ahead and change that. I'm going to double click on those last two letters and type in 2O. So it's now a difference. You can see we have all kind of green lines going on between all the stones, and they're laid out there. What we're going to do, I'm going to keep it at 0.3, but we're going to go ahead and our distance from border, we're going to lower that. So now you can see I'm getting more stones out here, but it's overlapping my area, right? But that's okay, because we can manipulate that. Let's see if there's any more we can do here without getting too off our area there. And that's probably okay. Let's go to our top view here. Yeah, there's some areas that I'm not well, it's not that bad, but there's some areas here where we have overlappage. But let's go ahead and take that, because we can do other things to manipulate those stones, right? And again, we only have to do either 1/2 of it or even 1/4 of it, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Gem Springs. We're going to select our stones, enter, and then select our surface, enter, and now we have our box out here, our pop-up box, and there's a lot we can do with this, right? First of all, I'm going to, with magnet, I'm not sure if you're familiar with magnet. If you click on a stone with magnet on and I move it, you can see the other stones are moving with it. It's kind of like they're magnetized together. They're pulling each other, right? So sometimes you want that on, maybe. Sometimes you don't. It really depends on what you're doing. But you can always go down here if you don't like it and just hit redo, and it snaps it back to wherever you want. Lock, if you turn off magnet, you have to click on it twice. Click on it twice to turn it on. Left click, and left click on it twice to turn it off. Lock, now I can take that and I can move it around, and none of those other stones are being affected. And if you notice, if I with my settings here, I have 1 and 2. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and double click that one and type in 20.20. Now when I click on that, it'll stay green as long as it's in tolerance, but as soon as I take it out of tolerance, it will give me a color, and this red line means I'm breaking tolerance right there with my edge. So, you know, you have to be a little careful depending on how close you want it, but they all are, right? Because I have it set so high. But there's a lot we can do here with this command. So I'm going to select this one right here by clicking on it. And then I'm going to go over here and double click in this box here. And I'm just going to drop it down to 2.0. Okay, so that changed the size. And I'm going to take this one and do the same thing. Double click on it and then type in 2.0. And now, and hit enter. So now these two are 2.0. So now what I can do is I can take this stone, I can move him over a little bit. And I can take this one and move him over a little bit as well. So I have a little bit more area there for prongs, but I don't really think that that's going to affect anything. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave that there. And I'll go ahead and take this one and do the same thing. This one will take it down to 2.0, enter, and this one will take it to a 2.0 and enter. But again, we don't really need to do this side, so we're just going to stay focused on this side here because we can get rid of that stone over there. So now you saw that red line just disappear, right? Now I can click on this one, I can hit delete, and then we'll just mirror that over when we get ready to do everything, right? And I can go through here and keep manipulating things, you know, over, and then we go, oh, undo. I want this one and delete it. So this will snap over to the other side. We have a little bit more gap there, but we're within tolerance, so I'm not going to worry about it. Now this one's overhang, so this one we're going to have to do some work on. This one I'll go ahead and click, and I'll just type in 1.0 and hit enter, and we'll drag this one over. Kind of maybe have to drop it a little bit more. Let's type in 0.0, enter. And it got rid of our red line there, right? And then we'll come over here on this side, click on that and delete it. All right. That one looks okay. Our tolerance is a little off there. So let's take this one and kind of put them so that our tolerance is good. We have a little space here, but we can put prongs in there. No big deal. This one here, go ahead and and then type in maybe 0.0 on this one as well. And we'll click it and drag him in. There we go. And we'll need to come and let's go over to the other side here. Click on this one, delete. Let's click on this one here and let's do this 0.0 again, 1 millimeter. And see if we can move him into position. Yeah. All right. And let's go over to this side, click on this one, and we'll delete that one. And we'll come back over here and click on this one here. And this one we'll type in 1.0 and see if that will work. And we'll click here and just kind of drag him in there. And of course, again, we're going to come over here, click on this one and delete him. All right, so we have all these stones, and actually I'm just going to go over here and click on this one and delete it so that we can just mirror all those together. I got it pretty much where I want, so I'm going to go ahead and hit enter and accept all that, right? Now, right now, all our stones are together, so what we're going to do is ungroup, and we're going to select everything on our bottom there, and we're going to delete it. And then we're going to select this. I thought those would stick together. This, and this. Oh, hold down shift. Hold down shift. This one, this one, this one, and this one. Those are the ones we manipulated. Did we manipulate that? It looks okay. And we'll just go ahead and go to our transform, go to mirror. Oh, I forgot one. I forgot a couple there actually. And we'll undo that mirror real quick. We'll go ahead and reselect those ones we need. Hold down shift, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one, and go to our mirror. And we'll go ahead and hit enter. We'll need to do this one too here. Okay, and then enter. Now we have it all laid out very nicely, right? So now what we can do is we can select all those stones and we can group them together, and we can go to settings and go to Pave Prongs and click on our surface and wait for those prongs to populate, and there we go. That will add all the prongs on there. And if you like them, you can. There's some spaces that we'll have to fill in, but it's really lays it out pretty well. We can redo some things over here. We can move up, bump up that overlap. Say we want them overlapping a little bit more, a little heavier prongs. It looks better. You can adjust the height and play around. I'm not going to go through all those commands. This isn't the ribbon type. We'll come back and do that another day. This is just kind of this pendant here. So there we go. Let's just say this is good. This is what we want, and then hit enter. And wait for it to populate those prongs. Okay, so we have all the prongs out here. Now, this is where the patience comes in. We really need to look at it to make sure the prongs are exactly where we want them, and everything's going to come out okay. You know, where it's not going to really cause us any issues. We have a little space here. We could probably add something in to cover up. We have a little space here and here. Nothing really large enough to add a stone to. So our prong on surface is our friend. So what we're going to do is go ahead and put a prong here. Go ahead and we'll just add one right there. Go ahead and we'll just add one right here. And we'll add one maybe right here, cover up that spot. We could also add some right in here, but we're going to do some other stuff. So we'll go ahead and add one right here and add one right here. And that's okay. And maybe, and that's all right. All right, and then we'll hit enter. All right, now we'll select all those. We'll go to our transform and we'll go to our mirror, and it'll slap them all over here on this side, and we'll hit enter. And we probably should have added one to this, so let's go back. Settings, prong on surface. Select our surface, and this one we're going to make a little thinner. And we're going to drag him in a little bit and then hit enter. Actually, let's undo. Let's get rid of all those that we mirrored across there real quick. Right, they're all gone, right? Yeah. Okay. Reason being is I forgot to do my height. That's what happens when you don't have an angle. You probably should keep an angle. So it doesn't matter though. It's all parametric. We can select it. We can select the prong and then drag it down to where it's pretty close to the same height. Go to our next one, drag it down. If you do it the first one, you don't have to really do it with, go back and do it. If you do it with the first prong, go ahead and adjust the height. I don't really find this, I'm not doing a lot of them, so I don't really find it that irritating. And then go ahead and hit enter. And I'm going to go ahead and select that again. And because there was that one more prong, and I know right here, and it's same height, see? And I'm going to make that just a taper. No, I want width, diameter, a little bit smaller there. Yeah, there we go. And then hit enter. Okay, then I'm going to select all those, and now we'll do that mirror. Transform, mirror, and it places them all over there on that side, and we'll hit enter. Okay. So we have all this, and we have all these, right? So we want to actually ungroup all this stuff again. Ungroup it, and then we want to go to our top view. And we want to hold down control, and we select this. Oh, it's all right. Never mind. We'll go ahead and just select all that top stuff there. Grab these, hold down shift. We don't want that one, so let's go ahead and ungroup. Get rid of that one, hold down control, click on it, and then go back and regroup. So we have it all regrouped again. So let's go ahead and select all this down here. We need those prongs, so there we go. We got everything this time. Yeah, and then we can go to mirror. This time we want to switch to X, turn off Y, and hit enter. And give it a second. And walla boom, walla bing, there's all our items. Right now, as you can see, these are all grouped together, so that's kind of a pain in the butt, right? So let's go ahead and take all that and then ungroup them. And then what we want to do is we want to go over here to our smart super select, and then select all gems, and then change them all to blue, and then group them together. And then we'll just go ahead and hide them, and we can go to our side view and select all those prongs, and make sure we didn't grab that surface, which we didn't. We can switch them to purple, and we can group them. Okay, now we'll turn back on our stones, and now everything is grabbable. Okay, and there we go. That's a nice pave laid out very, very nice and fairly quickly, right? Either way, they both have pretty close to the same results. They have the 6 prongs going around, and we filled in some stuff there, right? But we're going to go ahead and continue a little bit more. What we're going to do is I'm going to take this curve here, and I do not have my record history on. I'm going to duplicate that in place and turn it to red. All right, and I'm going to take that red curve, one of them, oh, it doesn't matter, the yellow or the red, and I am going to go to my top view here, and I am going to bump it out something like that, right? And then hit enter. Okay, so that's my red curve. That's cool. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead in here and grab that. Let's turn off this surface. All right, I'm going to grab this curve here. I'm going to go to my curves menu, scroll down here to clean up, and I'm going to, they're all joined, so I use the second fillet one, and I want a very small little circular area. There we go. And then I'm going to click the red one and do the same thing and hit enter. So now they both have a curvature or a fillet of 0.1, just very, very small, right? And now I am going to select this curve here. I'm going to go to tools, and I'll put a profile on it. Okay, and let's drag that profile somewhere around here. That's fine. And I'm going to take that profile and hold down shift and bring it sideways like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and change it to this profile. And I'm also going to go ahead outside curve this one here, and now I'm going to do some manipulation here, something like this for right now, and then I'm going to go ahead and activate an auto sweep on it, so I have this going on, right? And if I turn on this, we have that, and I am ever so much going to type in a 0.02 and hit enter. Oh, wrong way. So I'm going to type in a negative 0.04 because I want it going the other way. And you'll see why here in a little bit, maybe. All right, so I have this out there, right? And actually right now is a great time to go ahead and job bag, full save or job bag. Oh, you get to hear my dog. Not a very big one. Maltese. And there's a lot of stone. There's a lot of stones there to manipulate, so it takes a lot of time to get laid out. Maybe saving it was not a good idea. Okay, finally, sorry about that. That's all right. All right, so we'll continue on. Let's see here. My dog will behave. We're going to go ahead and go to curves, and we're going to extract an ISO curve right here. And we'll go in here and select right there and try to get it in our center there or close to it. And actually, a little off center is not a bad thing on this particular, because what we're going to do with it, right? I just use this surface. Could have done, I guess, say, tween curves. That probably would have been fine. Now I'm going to select this curve, and I'm going to go to gems. Well, not gem there. Sorry. Let's get rid of that thing. I want to go to select that curve, go to gems on curve. Select my surface so it snaps everything down, right? And probably, let's go to fixed spacing. Yeah. So I'm just going to do one side of this. All right. And then I'm going to drag this one on down to there. All right. So I have that. Just one side. And it looks like it fans out a little bit, and then it thins down a little bit, right? But there's some things we have to be watchful of. Is this stone's going to be mirrored over to here, so we want to make sure that there's enough spacing there. So we're just going to go ahead and maybe, we don't want to space those out too much. We're going to take this one back a little, so that gives us a little bit of spacing there. And we're coming down to this side here. And we'll do this. I wonder why that one's not going all the way. Let's bring it. Oh, that one we don't want. We want it on that curve there. Let's go with this spacing thing here. See if that'll help us out. Put that stone where we want it. There we go. All right, let's take a look, because we do not want that second stone overlapping any. Let's take this back a little, maybe. Yeah, I thought that's what would happen. So it's our spacing issue. So let's come with our dynamic commands. Spacing 0.07. Let's bump that up. Okay, maybe that'll be all right. Be close. Let's go ahead and take that. Let's see what it looks like here. Let's select those, and let's do a transform, mirror. We'll do the X multi and hit enter. I just wanted to see, yeah, we got some room there, so that's cool. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to undo that for right now, because we can come back to that later. Now I'm going to go and do a little more manipulation with my stones here, of course. Edit. I want to taper my middle. Okay, and again, it changed. We'll worry about that here in a second. And I want my middle stones to be a little bit larger. And we'll have to mess around with that spacing to get that stone back to where we want. Oh, is that size? Yeah. And let's check our spacing. Watching that corner over here. There we go. All right. Yeah, that should be okay. And then we'll go ahead and hit enter. All right, now I'm going to take this and just hide it. I'm going to take these, and I am going to go to my settings and go to under bezel. And of course, nothing's showing up because some of those stones are way too small. So we'll come over here to our top thickness, drop it all the way down. Bottom thickness, drop it all the way down so we get a view of our bezels there. And the first thing we're going to do is get rid of that dome. And we're going to drag those up. We'll take this in some. We don't need it, so let's go ahead and hide those gems for a second. And it's okay, I guess. And that should be okay. And as you can see, we are not touching our surface there. We need to be touching our surface. So let's go ahead and hit enter. Let's take this line and let's bring that, hold down, go to our checkerboard, hold down shift and kind of bring that in a little, and everything updates. So now we're touching somewhat on most of it, which is what we want. Right, let's turn on our stones. Yeah, okay. And then we'll click off that. We'll go ahead and click on our stones, go to our settings here, prong placer, and we'll drag that depth down, something like that. Yeah, it's touching, but it's not interfering with our prongs there. So we should be okay. All right. And now, of course, we need to mess around with these prongs a little bit. So let's go ahead and first of all, drag them up. And what do we got here? We don't want to drag them out. Maybe. Let's go ahead and make them a nudge. Let's make them a little bit thicker. And we're going to go to our end prong, and we're going to change that to 1, 1, which deletes it totally. Oh, there it is. Okay. We'll drag that up, and you got to drag the other one up too. And we got to do some manipulation with those because they're going at the wrong angle for what we want. Right in here, we'll do some more changing around. So there we go. I think that's okay. Let's make that thickness a little bit. Let's see, end prong height, offset. We want to do a little diameter manipulation, make that a little thicker. Something like that should be fine. Yeah. All right, and we'll just go ahead and say that's good. That's what we want. Maybe. Now we got to do it all the way around, but we can't just mirror it, right? There's some things that we've got to do. So we're going to select those. We're going to ungroup them. We're going to hold down Control, get rid of that stone there, and get rid of that stone, and then we're going to group them back together. Okay, so those are all grouped together. Now, still on the prongs, the under bezel as well. Let's go ahead and grab this one, hold down shift, this one, 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 this, not those, this one, and this one. Yeah, and group them together. And let's take these prongs, and we're going to ungroup them, and we're going to deselect this one here, hold down Control, that one and that one. Okay, this one and that one, and then we're going to group everything back together. Okay, so now we should be able to mirror everything, and it won't be overlapping anything. So let's go ahead, our transform, let's go to our mirror, let's turn on XY multi, and there we go. Yeah, and enter. Okay. But we're missing our corner pieces, right? Our point pieces or whatever. And as you can tell, this is a little hinky, right? It's not really lined up very well. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab that head, we'll go to our top view for this. We'll grab that head and we'll grab that stone and we'll grab that prong. And we're just going to manipulate it kind of where we want it. Right? And then we're going to select this prong and we're going to go to wire and we're going to rotate that item from around our stone from that point to this point to the center there. And it's crooked for some reason. I don't know what happened there. There we go. And now we'll have to maybe align it. Let's go to our top view. Yeah, just a little. Did I do that to our bezel too? Let's take a look. Perspective. Is our bezel? Yeah, our bezel's a little hinky too. There we go. And the last thing we want to do is go to our top view again, and we'll turn on our shading here, and we want to manipulate this one here. Why are they at angle? Okay, let's go in and take a look at these. Oh. That's okay. Looks good. All right. So let's go in here. I want to go to my top view one more time here. I want to take that stone and just kind of move him over a little. There we go. So it goes around all 4 stones. Oh, I know why. It's because the bezels funnel out a little bit, which is fine. We're going to go ahead and take this. We're going to take this. We're going to take this. And we are going to take that thing there. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Let's get... All right. And we're going to go to rotate, copy from F4 from there. Hold down Shift. There. There, and click off. Okay, so now we should have that item on all. This one's a little off, so let's just go ahead and take all that. I don't want that curve, so Control, and then bring him in. If this one's off, that means our other side will be off. And this one, let's just delete that thing, delete that thing. Delete that thing. Let's get rid of all this here. Don't need any of it, maybe. I don't know if we need that or not. Let's find out. Probably not. Let's go ahead and take this, this, this. And Shift Control this one here, prong, not prong edge, prong, and this prong, Shift Control. So I got those 4, and let's go ahead and just dynamic mirror it. Yeah, there we go. Hit Enter. Okay, let's ungroup that real quick. I think I have 2 of these, yeah. Let's get rid of that prong. Okay. This one looks like it needs a little manipulation here. So there. Where's my bezel? There. I'll drag that out just a little. Maybe a little bit more. And maybe I forgot to grab that bezel. Yep. So go back over here, grab that bezel, mirror that. Now it's over here. We'll have to do that manipulation a little bit, but no big deal. Hit Enter, and we'll select that bezel in there and drag it out over the center of our stone. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Check our last one here. That one looks okay. It's a little close, so let's just grab that there, this here, and this here, and we'll just bump it out just slightly. Yeah. All right. And we want to just make sure that everything's touching underneath. No one's touching on that side there, maybe not on this side. So let's take him. Let's kind of bump him so that he's touching all those. Same thing with this one. We'll drag him over so he's kind of touching. And actually what we can do is we can actually just hold down Shift and make that thing a little bit bigger because it probably wouldn't hurt. Let's move him over a little first. And hold down Shift, make him a little bit bigger. And check this one out. Hold down Shift. Move him over a little. There we go. Now let's flip him back over. See how bad we messed it up. Yeah, it's all right. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. So there we go. We have all that done, right? Now what we can do is we can select this surface. And we have a little spacing here, right? So we can grab this and we can just pull it down somewhere where it's grabbing, kind of connected to all our rail there. Did I just grab the curve? Let's undo that. I want the surface. Let's see. This surface. I'll grab my little ball there, my gumball, and drag him down like that. And give it a second. It's updating. Creating the mesh. And that should be a closed poly surface. And if I click on it, closed poly surface. So there you go. The only thing you have to do is do all your cutouts, which I'm not going to go ahead and do, and then put a bell on it, right? But first, before we move on here, let's go ahead, select all those, ungroup them, and let's select, let's go back to our super select, select all our gems. Let's go ahead, change them all to blue and group them together. All right, so all the gems are grouped together and all those prongs are okay. Those prongs, let's see what's going on with these. Okay, there's no color you can select those with. That's a shame. So let's go ahead and turn off our blue or gemstones, and we're going to go ahead and turn off this surface here, and I think everything else is good. So we'll go ahead and hide the red, hide the yellow, and hide the green, and all we have are the heads out there, prongs and heads, right? And we'll change those to purple and group them together. All right. Okay. And then we'll bring back our surfaces. And there we go. All right. So this is what we kind of got so far. Pretty cool. Last thing is a bail, right? We want to put a bail on it. Now you'll have to do those cutouts, of course, those gem cutters, but that's real easy to do. So let's look at the bail and how are we going to do this. We're going to make an unusual style bail here, I think. Now, if those heads weren't beveled out, those prongs wouldn't be so beveled out, right? So just keep that in mind. This is our top of our pendant here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a circle, grab us a circle somewhere. Where to go? There it is. And we're just going to, we'll change it to yellow. And we'll drag, actually before I do that, yellow's turned on. So I'm going to grab all yellow, turn it to gray, and turn it off. Now I'll grab that circle. And I'm going to grab me a little circle here, and I'm going to make me a larger circle. Something like 5 millimeters, 6 millimeters, that's fine. All right, and I'm going to select these two, and then I'm going to go to transform, and I am going to align, because I want these to be aligned. So align, and I am going to select, which option do I want? Do we have bottom? Centric. No. Oh, that's okay. And we'll go ahead and just kind of snap this over the top of that one. And we'll select this one and bring him over, right? And now I want to go ahead and grab back to my line curves, and we'll go to tangent from maybe here to there, and right click, tangent again from around here to there. And we're going to take these two circles, we are going to split them with these two lines and hit enter, and then we're going to take these two insides and delete them. So now we have the inside of a bell, right? And we're going to take all that, join it together. Now there's a lot of things. You could just put a profile on there and sweep it. There's a lot you could do, or we could offset it. And I think that's what we're going to do. Try the offset here. So let's do an offset. And we'll go through point both sides down here at the bottom. We'll just do one side. 2 point, let's make it, I want a really wide bell, so it'll, if I hold down shift, it won't lock it in anything. Okay. Something like that maybe. So I'm going to go to my top view. I'm going to select this one here, and I am going to rotate it from, make sure my snap, do I have quad, and near and end on. It'll snap to one of them there. And then go to here, and I'm going to drag that, rotate it out just a little, something like that. And then I'm going to take that, and I am going to transform and go to mirror, so that's on the other side there, right? And hit enter. Okay. Now this one I'm going to take, and I am going to make smaller for right now. All right, so we have that out there. Let's see. All right, so we have that. So let's just do a surface, and we'll do a profile suite maybe. Let's try a profile suite. I haven't worked on this part too much, so let's do this. Let's do this here. Let's do this here. Let's go to auto seam. Move that seam around somewhere here. And it's not really looking too good, is it? Yeah, they're looking better. There we go. Yeah. Something like that, perhaps. Yeah, it looks okay. So what's this one at? To 0.5, 0.5, 0.6. Let's move it to 0.5 so they're even. There we go. And we'll hit enter. Guess we could have done a loft too, huh? So let's go ahead and hold down shift to make this a little bit smaller. Something like that. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this, I'm going to go ahead and cap it. All right, so now it's capped on both sides, and hit enter. So if I click on it, we should have a closed poly surface. And now I'm going to go to my wireframe. I'm going to select this, go to my solids, go to extrude both planar straight, because it is planar. Go to both sides, and bring it out like that. And then I'm going to go back to my solids here, and I'm going to go to Boolean difference. First surface this one, enter. Second surface this one, enter, and enter, and get rid of that. And there's our surface, right? Now the reason why I want to make it so big, and I can go in here if I wanted to and taper it. So if I wanted to taper it even more, I could switch on enable second handle. I could squeeze that in a little bit, perhaps. There's all kind of things I could manipulate it even more however I want. You can even go in and go to your solids and go to blend, fillet edges, do a blend type thing, chain edges just to be safe. There, oh, that one there. Hit enter, preview yes, just in case it blows. A 1. Enter. That was a 1 fillet, really? Seriously? Let's try it again. Something was jacked up there, I think. Undoing taper. No, we want the taper. We'll just go ahead. Let's change this to green. All right, so let's go to our fillet edge, blend edge. This edge here. Preview yes, enter. It's not giving me a preview for some reason. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that 0.662. Okay. Hit enter. And let's go ahead and bring back that command and select on this curve here. Hit enter. We don't want it a 1. We want it a 0.66 something, I think it was. There we go. We'll just take that, hit enter. Okay. And we should have a closed palette, which we do. All right, so the only reason why I'm just showing you different stuff you could do with this thing, and you can do it with the inside there too. What we want to do with this thing here is we want to go to our curves. We want to extract an ISO curve from the center there, and we want to flip that 180 going up and down, right? And where are we at? We're at 50. Looks like it at least. We're going to go ahead and accept that. We're going to select this curve. We're going to go to gems on curve. Select curve, this one here, enter. And it's placing around our back side there. So let's drag them up something like this. And let's drag those kind of up something like that there. And we want to select our target object, this one here, so everything snaps down. And I'm going to go from round to princess cut. And I am going to lock them up as close as we can get. So go from minimum to fixed. And I want them, don't want to roll them. I always do that. Want spacing, there we go. Pretty much nose to nose, right? And we'll just say that's what we kind of want. And I guess we could taper them. We'll just keep them the same. All right, and well, before I do that, I want to drop them down to my table. All right, and then hit enter, and then I'm going to select those gemstones there. Maybe. Group, go to my cutters, channel cutter, go to flat, turn on wireframe, and I want to bring this in just a smidgen, and I don't like this cutter, so we're going to change that. Go to our profile library, and I want this one here, and then hit accept. That's what I want, and then we'll do some side work on it, and I'll drag that up somewhere around there, drag this down. And our edge is going around, we got some room to cut for our stone, so let's go ahead and say this is what we want, and we'll take that and we'll do a boolean difference. This one here, this one, enter. And there we go. Nice. Okay, and we'll hit enter. And we'll get rid of this one here. Turn him to gray. All right. And we want to go back to our curves one more time. Go, man. I knew it was going to be a long one. Sorry. And go to extract ISO curve, switch to 180. Now it's giving me a straight curve, which I really don't like. So let's see if I can angle it to get it to where I can want it angled. Let's go to our, we can really see it here. I want to angle it, not that way. Not that strong. Yeah, it's okay. So it's not really let me do what I want to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to curves and I'm going to grab me a curve and I'm going to kind of eyeball it here. I'm going to drag it down through here and something maybe like that. I'm going to go to my curves and offset project. Select the curves and points to project. That'll be this one. Select curves and point to project. Press enter. Select the objects to project to. That'll be this one. Hit enter and project to the top because I'm in the top viewport. And enter. Enter. There it is. It's on my item now. Okay, so let's hopefully this will work out okay. I guess I can always move it, huh? Group. So let's go to group. Let's ungroup that. This here we want. And we want to go to gems. Gems on curve. And again, it throws them back here on the back side. So drag them up. Drag them up. Snap it to our target object. And we want to manipulate this one down to little teeny itty bitty. And we want to taper our end. And we want to make this one a little bit bigger. Our spacing, we can make our spacing. Let's go to fix. Well, let's spacing. There we go. And you can see my curves just slightly off. So we're going to go ahead and select that. Well, first we need to accept this. And I'm going to select this curve here. Project. Edit. To project. Edit. Okay. I'll project. Grab that curve here. That's my stones. That's fine. Let's take this and just move it over a little. There we go. Okay. So that's okay that way, but it's still a little off. So let's go to our top view. Let's go to rotate that curve, right? Right here to right there. And let's moving up. Do that again. Select this, rotate from here to here, and just kind of move him over just this minute. Do I have snaps on? Let's turn snaps off. Moving over something like that. Yeah. Not bad. And then I'm going to go ahead and right click again, go turn on my snaps. Select on the end there, go to the one here, and it's I want to move him over ever so slightly. Turn off my snaps. Something like that. There we go. All right, so let's pick our stones again and go back to edit because I forgot, as usual, a girl to table. And we'll go ahead and take that. Perspective, and let's go ahead and say that's good. Select those. Let's go to wireframe here. Let's grab those stones. Let's go to transform. Cutters, channel cutter. And now we want to do a little channel on here. And again, I don't like that cutter. We'll go to this one. This one. This is fine. And this one. and get rid of this. And we'll take that up and we will make those flat. And let's see, we need to drag that up more. I'll drag that up, drag this down, something like, a little bit more. Something like that. We want to open that up a little. Oop. Not that wide. Don't want to go into our channel there. Oh, I know, I should have gone to perspective. Let's click my edit. Wire. Ooh. Something like that. Now I want to drag this end out. Okay, let's see what this looks like here. We'll go ahead and what happened there? Okay, so let's go in here and go to middle point count, and let's put a bunch more in there. And then let's go to mirror setting, no. And let's change this one to flat. And we want to bump that up. Let's go in here and bump that down and drag that out and make that a little wider. There we go. Okay, maybe that's all right. So let's go ahead and say that's good. And now let's take this and these stones by holding down shift and go to transform, go to mirror, hit enter, go to shaded, and we'll take this, go to solids, Boolean difference. We don't want that. Let's see. Okay. For surface, this one enter, this one enter, and enter. Okay, so there we go. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take the settings, put some setting prongs on there. First thing we want to do is drag those up, and maybe prong depth, that's fine. Let's go ahead and let's change those to well, end prong. End prong. There we go. And drag that one up. Ooh, I should have made that cutter a little bit wider, but at least you get a idea. And let's go back to these here. Sometimes it's better to put the prongs on first and then decide where you want to cut it. And make those a little thinner. There we go. Hit enter. Yeah. And then we can just take those, and really you should do that Boolean cutter. Where's our channel cutter? Edit it. Not that one. Enter this channel cutter here. Maybe drag that down a little bit more, and then this one down a little bit more as well, and then hit enter, so it opens that up, right? And then you can do a transform, mirror, and oh, that's a big prong. Check that puppy out, man. That ain't going nowhere. Hit enter, and then of course you can go back in here and edit that. I wasn't paying attention there on that one. Diameter, let's take that down a little. And drop them down a little. There we go. And then hit enter. And now you have a nice little let's go ahead and get rid of that. Get that. Yeah. Okay. And then just need an O-ring, right? Got a nice heavy bail there. So we can go to, what is it? Tools, is it? No, settings. Bail, right? And we do not want the bail itself. We just want the O-ring. So let's just go ahead and get rid of that. Let's take all this here, kind of move it a little closer. Yeah, there we go. And then we'll just go to solids and use torus. Where's it at? I don't use that very much. Where are you at, buddy? Oh, right there. All right, so we'll go in here. Snaps are off, so we should be okay. So we'll go from here out to here. I'll go something like that, and we'll just hold down shift, make it a little larger. And we'll take all this, drag it in a little bit, and we should be okay. Yeah. Well, a little bit. There we go. A little bit more. Shift. All right. We'll change that to this color. And there we go. So let's take a look at it. Turn on this. We'll go to ray traced. Now ray trace may take a while because it's there's just a ton out there, right? So we'll just kind of have to wait for it a few seconds. Once it's running, I can activate Rhino denoiser with it, and that'll speed it up a little bit. But we'll go ahead and activate. Well, we know we won't have to wait until it gets running here. But that's kind of what it is. I'll go ahead and render a video out and or image out and kind of put it on the thumbnail for the video, so you don't have to stick around. Appreciate you watching, but hopefully there was a lot in this one, so hopefully it helps out. But it's pretty cool. All you have to do now is just go and join everything together, which shouldn't be any issues. Make those cutouts for those smaller stones, and then I would do a fillet on those little holes on the bottom, and you're good to go. You've got a nice, really cool pendant. So thanks for watching, and appreciate your time. And sorry it took so long. Good designing.